Hello, I'm Gustavo Tolosa, and today we are going to do chapter 6 of Undo It. There. I have been traveling, if you have noticed. I have been to Buenos Aires, Córdoba, and now I'm in the city or the state of Mendoza. Beautiful, beautiful place. And I will be uploading soon a video showing you some of the highlights of these really cool places. It will be sometime this week, and please forgive the noise because I'm staying at an Airbnb right downtown Córdoba. I mean, Mendoza. I don't know where I am anymore. And so there is traffic. This is very busy street. So today, this is recorded because tonight I have a family reunion and I know that I won't be able to do this live. I will try to log in though so that I can answer questions or comments if you have any. But since I don't know what kind of internet I will have, I'm recording this, and this is Sunday, May 1st. So chapter 6 is stress less. And very interesting. I'm going to read. I have to take my glasses off. Chronic stress is one of the most important mechanisms underlying so many chronic diseases. It has a direct effect on our health, mediated through the sympathetic nervous system, and it plays an important role via affecting each of the other mechanisms described in chapter 2. So the important thing to remember here is chronic stress, something that continues through time. When it's chronic, stress can increase inflammation in your brain, which in turn can lead to exacerbate depression. And when you're depressed, your immune system is depressed. For example, people who are HIV positive and depressed have more than double the likelihood of dying from AIDS than those who are not depressed. Chronic stress also shortens telomeres, adversely affects how your genes are expressed, and can have a harmful impact on the balance of the trillions of cells in your microbiome. Chronic emotional stress increases oxidative stress as well. None of this sounds good. Okay, chronic means constant emotional stress, oxidative stress, shortened telomeres. Okay, so I hope we're getting the idea that stress is not a good thing, at least not chronic stress. Okay, so here's the good news. Stress comes primarily not just from what happens to us, but more important, how we react, okay, to what happens to us. And I think that's a key sentence here. Stress comes primarily from basically how we react to what happens to us, not the actual thing of what happens to us. In short, even when we can't change what's going on in our lives, we have a lot more choice about how we react to it than we might have believed. So on page 136, it says, chronic emotional stress shortens our telomeres, the ends of our chromosomes that regulate cellular aging. So we will also age faster if we have chronic emotional stress. As our telomeres get shorter, our lives get shorter. Then At the top of page 137, it says that if you feel stressed, then you are stressed. Another key sentence there. If you feel stressed, you are stressed. Those who practiced the elements of the style medicine program in this book were able to buffer the stress so it didn't affect their telomeres and health. They became more resilient. In contrast, the others showed a significant shortening of their telomeres and, as such, their lives. This is a very empowering finding because we can't always change what's happening to us, but we have a lot more control how we react to it than we might realize. Again, not to blame, but to empower. And I think, including me, we need to remember this, that we can't always change what's happening to us, but we do have control over how we react. On page 139, it talks about the attention span of a goldfish. Although we are hyper connected with each other via social media and other apps, studies show that we are more stressed and lonely than ever. One study revealed that people who reported spending more than 2 hours per day on social media were twice as likely to feel socially isolated as those who spent less than half an hour per day. And those who visited social media sites such as Facebook more than 58 times per week were over 3 times as likely to feel socially isolated as those who visited fewer than 9 times per week. There's more about this on chapter 7. Also, the time we spend on our mobile devices is shortening our attention span. A study from Microsoft found that the average attention span since the year 2000, when smartphones were introduced, decreased by a third, from 12 seconds to only 8 seconds, less than the attention span of a goldfish. Technology is designed to be addictive. The gratification it provides is similar to that of other addictive behaviors, such as a drug abuse or gambling. So spending more time doing these stress management techniques and less time on social media will give you a double benefit, and it will help you focus better. Of course, we have to eat every day, so with nutrition it just becomes a question of what we eat. And when we exercise, it feels like we really are doing something. But stress management is something that's easier to skip, especially when we are busiest and most needed. If you make it a habit, some time of day, some place, you're more likely to do it. Or use downtime when you're traveling on a plane or train to meditate instead of checking your phone. To meditate instead of checking your phone. On page 140, Dr. Ornish says, when you're sitting with your eyes closed, it looks like you're not doing very much. In fact, though, you're doing something quite powerful. For example, researchers at Harvard found that meditation alone can change the expression of genes that regulate inflammation, programmed cell death, apoptosis, and oxidative stress in only a few weeks. To look at gene expression, the researchers compared non-meditators with those taught to meditate for 8 weeks and also with advanced meditators. The more the participants meditated, the more it beneficially changed the expression of these genes. In my experience, when people realize that meditation alone can actually change their genes as well as provide so many other benefits, it is usually a powerful motivation or motivator for them to do this as well as the other stress management techniques described here. Also on page 140, it says that neuroplasticity is the ability of the adult brain to change its structure and function by generating new cells and pathways. And this is something that it was believed a few years ago that was not possible, but it is. And I, of course, with music therapy, I have learned that. New research indicates that you can actually rewire your brain to have more positive responses. We can all learn to be more positive by practicing doing so. In other words, your higher cognitive function, your thoughts, can directly influence your amygdala, the animal part of your brain that houses emotions like fear and anger. The rest of this chapter is where Anne basically gives us the practical part of it. On page 143, she talks about stretching and breathing techniques and meditation and guided imagery and deep relaxation. And it is not that I don't think this is important or that I want to skip Anne's section of this chapter. It's that these are exercises that, we would have to actually do them and probably be here for 3 hours or something if we did all of these exercises. So I'm just leaving these for you to try, and I'd love to hear your comments and your experience. But that's why I'm skipping it. Sorry, now the sun is getting here. Okay, so, but there are titles that I think here are very interesting. Like on page 181, it says accessing your inner wisdom. Then there's a guided imagery. Then there's deep relaxation. And I would like for you to really try this. And so next week, we will cover chapter 7, which is Love More. And it has quite, it's very interesting. I was reading it and I couldn't put it down. So make sure you read that. And next Sunday, when is that? It's 8th, I think. Yeah, May 8th. We'll have our session. Today was supposed to be our last session, but next Sunday the session will be done through my YouTube channel, and it will be a YouTube live session. So please make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can see it here, but basically you go to YouTube, you type Gustavo Tolosa, and it will come up. Make sure you subscribe and you click on the little notification bell, and that way you'll get a notification when I am online or whenever I have uploaded a video. And this week I will release my trip video, and I will also be doing some cooking demos because I have a special surprise for you all. This surprise will come on May 5th. Make sure you look at your email first thing in the morning, if possible, or during the day. I will be sending you something that is I think you'll enjoy it. But it does have a time limit, I guess. So make sure that you look on May 5th. And on that day, I will be doing 1 or 2 cooking demos as well. So also while you're in my YouTube channel, just feel free to explore there. You will find the other book clubs that I've done before. Then in the description area of this video, you will find the concert that I did recently with my friend soprano Cecilia. And if you have time, also check my website, which is called plantemas.com. Have a great day, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.